Hi there again. This is Kinfolk Chat. Swarthy Daisy, thanks so much for watching. In this video, I wanted to take a look at a new feature or update that they have on Your DNA Portal. Special shout out to Genetic Nomad. Please make sure to check out her channel here on YouTube because she also discusses the latest and the greatest in DNA test and test results. This test was a feature that is new, like I mentioned, and offered on Your DNA Portal. The upgrade to the pre-existing upload, of course, if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that I uploaded my 23andMe results to this company, and they pretty much gave me results based on the calculators that they use through their company. So along the way, as they get updates to their database, they provide new calculators and new information that you can, of course, upgrade by paying money. So each upgrade that I'm going to show you was $25 each. So I did upgrade 2, but in this video, we'll just go ahead and look at one example of the upgrade. Of course, it's a lot of information, so we don't want this video to be too long. So I'm just going to look at chromosome 1 to give you guys just an idea of how it works. Here we have Your DNA Portal, and it shows chromosynthesis, Pangea Homegenesis, and civilizations, and it says explore your DNA via the power of chromosynthesis. By utilizing chromosomal analysis, you can dig deeper into the more obscure areas of your ancestry. The fine detail of a chromosomal test looks at each chromosome individually, allowing you to capture ancestry that might be missed by other tests. Chromosynthesis is an excellent tool for capturing even the most distant ancestry. Each chromosome contains unique information and can have a very different autosomal profile. Usually the first 10 chromosomes are the most relevant, while the last 2 are less informative. A small percentage, 1% of a chromosome, equals approximately 0.045% of the entire autosome. By analyzing each chromosome, we can reveal both a deeper and more detailed ancestry than other tests. Analyzing the autosomal profile at the single chromosome level allows us to capture the most remote and ancient origins, details that otherwise would remain hidden. Each individual chromosome is analyzed with 2 distinct estimates created by complementary mathematical parameters. This allows for a more conservative estimate, displaying a low margin of error, but tending to incorporate the smallest and most remote fragments within the main composition, therefore effectively ignoring them, and a more speculative one, which also takes into account the most remote and less obvious signals. Chromosynthesis has the ability to pick up very small and remote fractions of your autosomal composition. In the various breakdowns, the most likely components to appear will largely be those from the last 10,000 years, which have contributed to the formation of the modern ethnic group or ethnic groups, if mixed, to which each of us belongs. In estimates based on ancient data sheets, the speculative breakdown is extremely effective. However, for the modern one, it might sometimes be necessary to rely on the more conservative estimate. This is because the signals they could refer to derive from remote populations not easily represented by modern reference samples. So here's a part of the video where I'm going to again hit you with my disclaimer. I am not a geneticist. I'm a consumer just like you are. So I might provide you with something that's not as accurate as it should be. So if it is not accurate, then make sure to leave a comment below to correct me because I'm not above correction, okay? But I wanted to share these as a consumer so that we as a community can learn more about these platforms and the services that they offer and the information that it provides. So from my understanding, I see that the chromosomes, the 23 chromosomes that are presented here. Um, each one will be broken down and analyzed individually. So what I'm going to do here is show my 23andMe chromosome painting so that you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, here is a copy of mine from 23andMe. And according to 23andMe's website, it says that the chromosome painting shows a colorful representation of the 23 sets of chromosomes that make up your genome. The chromosomes are shown in pairs and labeled with numbers 1 through 22 or the letters X. Females will see 2 copies of the X chromosome, while men only see 1 copy of the X chromosome and a gray diagram of the Y chromosome. As we see here, showing a copy of my DNA results. We've seen these in previous videos, but I wanted to highlight the color coding and how it matches up with the DNA painting. For the sub-Saharan category, we see a purple color, and if you look at the specific breakdowns, you'll see that there is a pinkish dot to the left of the category. There's a purplish dot, there's a maroon dot, and then of course the European is blue and they have light blue dots next to them. So that corresponds to the DNA painting. Here with chromosome 1, as you see, the painting is next to it, so you'll see the different highlights. They show on the left Africa Nok culture, Bantu Angola, Bantu Kenya, Terra Basin, Celtic Orkney, Central African, Levant Philistine, Nylotic Ethiopia, Nilotic Kenya. And when we tap on the owl icon, we see for Africa Nok culture, it shows that it is an early Iron Age population whose material remains are named after the Ham village of Nok in Kaduna state of Nigeria. And that's where the terracotta sculptures were first discovered in 1928. The Nok culture appeared in Nigeria around 1500 BC and vanished after unknown circumstances around 500 AD, having lasted approximately 2,000 years. Next, we see the Bantu Angola, and it says Bantu languages are theorized to derive from the Proto-Bantu reconstructed language, estimated to have been spoken about 4,000 to 3,000 years ago in West Central Africa, the modern area of Cameroon. They were supposedly spread across the central, eastern, and southern Africa in so-called Bantu expansion, a relatively rapid dissemination taking roughly 2 millennia and dozens of human generations during the first millennium BCE and the first millennium CE. Angola is a country in southwestern Africa. The country's name derives from the Kimbundu word for king. It was first settled by San hunter gatherer societies before the northern domains came under the rule of Bantu states such as Congo and Ndongo. Next, we have Bantu Kenya. The spread of some Bantu to the north coast of East Africa during the first millennium CE is supported by the memory of a settlement area named Shangwaya, situated to the north of the Tana River in Kenya. Terra Basin or Tarim Basin. The Terra Mummies are a series of mummies discovered in the Terra Basin in present-day Xinjiang, China, which date from 1800 BC to the first centuries BC, with a new group of individuals recently dated to between circa 2100 and 1700 BC. The mummies, particularly the early ones, those to our particular focus here, are frequently associated with the presence of the Indo-European Tocharian languages in the Tarim Basin. A study published in 2021 suggests that the earliest Tarim Basin cultures appear to have arisen from a genetically isolated local population. Here I wanted to show my results from YourDNAPortal because I thought this Tarim Basin thing was pretty interesting and highlighted something that I had kind of seen before, but I wasn't sure what was going on with it. But these are older results from YourDNAPortal. And as you see here, YourDNAPortal stated that I had a tiny percent of Chinese DNA. And it shows Chinese 0.88%, Hmong Mien at 0.43%, and Tungusic at 0.43%, and then of course others at 0.02. And going back to what the company suggests is that their test does look at each chromosome individually, something that other companies miss, and that they're able to tease out those little parts. So perhaps that's where that relates. I do have North African. Some tests it shows up as Native American. I see here that it's Chinese. So it could be a host of things, and it goes way back thousands of years. So that could be pretty accurate, not sure, but of course this is a learning opportunity, so we're going to continue to look into this. And I also have a male cousin on the male line that does have verified Chinese ancestry as well. Of course, my mother was questioning that as well, but we see that it is on the male line on her mother's father's side. So perhaps that could also hint toward having Malagasy DNA, not sure. But of course, this is something I'm going to continue to look into. Next, they show Celtic Orkney. And of course, this relates to the Scots. And it is known as the Orkney Islands, which is an archipelago in the Northern Isles of Scotland, situated off the north coast of the island of Great Britain. Orkney is 10 miles north of the coast of Caithness and has about 70 islands, of which 20 are inhabited. The largest island, mainland, is often referred to as the mainland and has an area of 523 square kilometers, which is 202 square miles, making it the 6th largest Scottish island and the 10th largest island in the British Isles. Central African is next, and here we show the Mbuti people, or Bambuti, are one of the several indigenous pygmy groups in the Congo region of Africa. The Bambuti live in villages that are categorized as bands. Each hut houses a family unit. At the start of the dry season, they leave the village to enter the forest and set up a series of camps. This way, the Bambuti are able to utilize more land area for maximum foraging. These villages are solitary and separated from other groups of people. Their houses are small, circular, and very temporary. Genetic studies have found evidence for the African pygmies being descended from the Middle Stone Age peopling of Central Africa, with a separation time from West and East Africans of the order 130,000 years. African pygmies in the historical period have been significantly displaced by and assimilated to several waves of Niger-Congo speakers of the Central Sudanic, pardon the pronunciation, Ubangian, and Bantu phyla. Next, Levant Philistine. The Philistines were an ancient people who lived on the south coast of Canaan from the 12th century BC until 604 BC, when their polity, after having already been subjugated for centuries by Assyria, was finally destroyed by King Nebuchadnezzar II of Babylonia. After becoming part of his empire and its successor, the Persian Empire, they lost their distinct ethnic identity and disappeared from the historical and archaeological records by the late 5th century BC. Nylotic Ethiopia. And before I start reading, the child on the right looks exactly like one of my brothers. And I kind of look like him too, so that's pretty interesting. The phenotype is similar to the Nilotic people here in Ethiopia. Also known as Anuak and Anwa, are a Luo-Nilotic ethnic group inhabiting parts of East Africa. The Anuak belong to the larger Luo family group. Their language is referred to as Da'aniwa. They are primarily found in South Sudan and some small number in Ethiopia, especially the Gambela region, as well as villages and situated along the banks and rivers of southeastern South Sudan. The Anuak are from the family of Nilots. They have lived in the area of the Upper Nile for hundreds of years and consider their land to be their tribal land. Lastly, we have Nilotic Kenya. The Luo of Kenya and Tanzania are a Nilotic ethnic group native to western Kenya and the Mara region of northern Tanzania and East Africa. The Luo descend from migrants who moved into western Kenya from Uganda between the 15th and 20th centuries in 4 waves. These migrants were closely related to Luo peoples found in Uganda, especially the Acholi and Padhola people. As they moved into Kenya and Tanzania, they underwent significant genetic and cultural admixture as they encountered other communities that were long established in the region. Traditionally, Luo people practiced a mixed economy of cattle pastoralism, seed farming, and fishing supplemented by hunting. Today, the Luo comprise a significant fraction of East Africa's intellectual and skilled labor force in various professions. They also engage in various trades such as tent fishing, small-scale farming, and urban work. And lastly, for chromosome 1, they show conservative results. We've already looked at Bantu Angola, so we'll go ahead and look at the Tatar people. Initially, the ethnonym Tatar possibly referred to the Tatar Confederation. That confederation was eventually incorporated into the Mongol Empire when Genghis Khan unified the various steppe tribes. Historically, the term Tatars or Tartars was applied to anyone originating from the vast northern and central Asian landmass, then known as Tartary, which was dominated by various Turco-Mongol nomadic empires and kingdoms. And here are some results again from other tests that I've taken. You've seen them in previous videos, but at the top here in blue, you have the 24 genetics that shows regions in Russia and a breakdown of that. I made a note here that my mom's DNA shows Magyar, which is the Hungarians, near Mount Ural, that's the Russia area. Then you have the Baltics showing up here on Ancestry DNA. And then we have Weegene with the Tungusic results. And I wanted to just basically show those so that you can see how it relates to the Tatar that was given here on Your DNA Portal. Again, there are other tests that I've taken that also show Russian as a result. And then truly lastly, for this section, they show the breakdown of the speculative and the conservative results. So we've already gone over them. It's just a chart. And then here you have the chance to look at a map version. So they have the speculative and the conservative as well. So you can kind of move around on the map to see where these populations lived. So that is it, guys. This was a long one, but I do want to thank you for your time and attention. If you've made it all the way to the end, you are a DNA star. So make sure to leave a comment below. Let me know that you made it to the end and comment with DNA star. And then I'll know that you are one of the ones that made it to the end of this video. So if you have any comments, you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.